Hi, Flosstube. My name is Becca, and I am SamBrie Stitches here on Flosstube and Instagram. I am here with a very special guest all the way from Japan. She's in the future, everybody. It's Carla Rolodex Stitches. How are you doing?
Hello. Good. How are you? Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi. I'm so excited to interview you today. There's going to be some fun questions.
I'm excited too. I just kind of skimmed the questions, and there was only one that threw me off. So
okay. There's no surprises. So
good.
So we'll get started with, why did you start a Flosstube, and were there any particular motivations?
You know, it was just when I first started looking, when I first heard about Flosstube, and then I just got into it a little bit, and I saw several of the big names. Right away, I didn't notice anyone doing the same pieces that I was doing. I felt like and nothing against Prim or anything like that, but I saw a lot of samplers and a lot of Prim stitching, and I love it. It's beautiful, but that's not really my style. So I was like, am I the only one that doesn't do this, that doesn't stitch this way? And then the more that I researched, I saw that people did love my type of genre, my type of styles, but I just didn't really see a whole lot of that. And mind you, I'm not saying I'm the first one by any means. I just didn't find them yet.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I understand. There's a lot of sampler stitchers out there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what is that from the Robots movie? It was a cartoon movie. You see a need, you feel a need. So I was like, oh, let's try that. Let's see if anyone else is kind of feeling the same way I am and wanting to see a little bit more variety. Mm-hmm. And then also I was making this huge move from the States to Japan. And I really just needed something to connect me from, not my previous life, but from where I was, and kind of like keep a touchstone and to kind of mark my journey of where, I've been and where I'm going. So I started it probably a month and a half after I moved here. Oh, wow. So yeah, so it's been all this going on.
Yeah. We followed you on your journey. Your goods took forever to get there, and then the weather, and oh yeah, you've been through a lot.
It's been a lot. Like, I can't believe it's like I'm coming up on a year right now, and I'm like, really? Look at it's bananas.
It flew by. So the next question is actually a subscriber question, and they're looking for anybody who has a blog.
No.
You don't have one?
No. Never have done any blogs. I've always loved to write, but I've never started a blog or anything. I am always down to find new ones, though. So.
Oh yeah, watch the interview. That's the question that goes through, or if anybody has a blog, yeah, they can leave comments as well, for sure. So how did you learn to stitch, and how long have you been stitching?
So I had one of my very good friends, Hazel. She was a roommate in college, and then we just stayed really good friends forever. And I saw her stitching something, and she was doing it in our college colors, and I was like, what is that? And she always does knitting and crochet and all, lots of other crafts. All of a sudden she had this hoop and this other things, and I've tried all of those other things, and I've sucked at them. My fingers just like grow tentacles, and nothing works. It doesn't end up well. So I was like, well, what is that? She's like, oh, it's cross-stitch. And I was like, oh, I know cross-stitch. I'd heard of it before. And I was like, and so like a couple of days later, we met up again, and I was like, so hey, show me that. I want to do that. About that. And she did. She handed me a piece of scrap fabric that she just had with her, and she just showed me some stitches. Like, she showed me what it was,
how they lay and everything.
Yeah. And I was like, huh. And then that was literally it. And then the next time I saw her, probably 2 weeks later, I had finished 2 pieces. Oh, wow. And like little teeny tiny pieces. And then I was in the middle of the next one. I was like, hey, I have a question about this. And she goes, oh no, you have surpassed me already. I just did this. Mine's just in the shape of Ohio. And I was like, well, what's this fractional stitch business? And she goes, honey, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, look it up.
So then that just opened. I just jumped into the internet and started looking at all the other stuff. And that's all she wrote. It's history from there.
The Crossstitch rabbit hole for sure.
Oh, man. It's deep. I'm still falling.
Oh, yeah.
And so for how long? 2.5 years, little over 2 years, still falling 2.5 years later.
There's always something new. There's always new patterns that you need. Speaking of patterns, do you have a favorite project that you've stitched?
Ooh, so I just sent to the framers my first professional framing. I know, ooh, girl, you fancy. That's what I said in my head every minute of me standing at this, tiny little desk here on base. It is my tiny modernist. Is it the my tiny house? The Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the tiny modernist haunted mansion, and I changed it a bit to do Hotel Transylvania. If we have a photo, I'll pop it in here or give it to you to pop in. That was my first time I really just went all in on modifications and just let my imagination run wild. So when that one's framed, I'm excited. That's definitely my baby right now.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I followed your progress on that one. That was pretty neat. The modifications were really cool. So yeah, just send me a picture and I'll pop it in here.
Okay.
On that.
Cool.
So what do you enjoy most about stitching? Just the overall stitching.
It calms me. It is my quiet and safe place. It is where I can just, if I'm feeling just where everything is getting to me and I'm snapping at the kids and I want to punch my husband in the nose and, someone's breathing just annoys me. I'm like, oh no, this is me now. And I need to take it down. So I just go off, or I go and I sit and I find somewhere and I just stitch, and everything kind of just quiets around me.
Yep. It centers, calms, brings peace. Yeah. Same for me. Exactly. I love it.
Yep.
All right.
And that was the other part of it. I don't do other creative, like crafty things. Yep. This is my creative outlet, and it feels great.
Yeah. It does take up a lot of time anyways for cross stitch. So I don't know how people that have multi-crafts can handle it. I don't have enough time. Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
So what is your favorite genre of book or movie? Do you have a favorite genre?
Oh, how much time do we have here? And depending on the day. So today is Wednesday for me, and it's about 9 a.m. So today, Wednesday, May 27th. Right now, my favorite genre is rom-com. I am loving, like not super cheesy, but the kind that, I love a happy ending. Mm-hmm. But you give me just some romantic comedy with a splash of cursing, and I'm happy. I'm like, okay, this is it. It can just be, and especially if I've watched it 1,000 times, just be on the background while I stitch. And
while you stitch, yep.
Yep, it's good stuff. Now, books, I'm a YA. I'm young adult fantasy.
Okay.
Love it. If you've watched my channel, you know that I wax poetic about Sarah J. Maas almost every other episode, just because she's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I love living in her worlds that she creates. I love her characters.
Oh, nice. So, yeah. Well, speaking of worlds, the next question is, what fictional place would you like to most go?
Ooh, I'd really love to live in any one of Sarah J. Maas's worlds.
I figured out.
Yeah. Because, I love, Game of Thrones worlds. I think that's really cool, but everyone dies, and I'm mouthy, and they would murder me in a heartbeat. I would be executed with the quickness, and no one would say anything because, like, well, girl ran her mouth. Yeah. She was warned, and yet she persisted, so boom. That's how I'll go down. But no, I would like to be like living in Terracin or like Court of Thorns and Roses. I love the magic. If I could have magic, I probably
would be amazing.
I would do bad stuff, like not like be an evil. Well, I mean, hell, I might be like an evil genius or something, or try to take over the world. But I would definitely like just mess with everyone constantly.
That's not really bad.
Yeah, like my husband would never be able to wear pants because I would constantly pantsing him from anywhere he's at. I thought about this the other day. I'm like, if I could just rip down your pants when you're standing there in front of your peers, I would.
Oh, that's funny. Your poor husband.
Right?
Your poor
right.
husband.
Why is he married to me? But he just laughed. He's like, I would be really mad, but then I would laugh. And I'm like, good.
Well, you kind of have to at that moment.
Yeah.
No.
Most people would divorce me.
It's the thought. You haven't acted on it, so you're okay.
Exactly.
You're safe.
But if you give me magic, what if I do?
There's always the what if.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be? Don't say pantsing your husband all day.
Right? This was the question. All of the other ones I've just kind of given off the cuff answers. This was the one that I was like, what would I do? You know, this is the only one that really got me like I wanted to think about. And aside from magic and living, you know, as a, you know, having any sort of cool powers, I want to be on a like high profile movie set. I don't want to act in the movie. I want to watch how this process goes down. And I don't know why. Yeah. I want to see the direction. I want to see like what these people are told to make them, you know, to get out that certain feeling. Like if it's a really high, intense, emotional scene, how do you get into that mindset? I think that would be fascinating.
Yeah.
And not get upset that they're crying and look pretty when they're crying, because my face turns magenta.
Oh yeah.
I blotchy and my nose runs. How are they doing this? What sort of like cinematic wizardry are they using to not look like goblins while they are sobbing hysterically?
That would be a lot of fun, I think, just to be on the sidelines of a big set somewhere.
On-set catering, I've heard, is like top shelf.
Oh, yeah. Depends on who the star of the show is or whatever. Depends on what the catering is, but
yeah. So that's my answer.
That's a really good answer. That gives you something to kind of think about.
Yeah.
Do you have any other hobbies besides cross stitch? I know we've kind of talked about this earlier, so yeah.
I read. God, I read all the time. As I've gotten older, I fall asleep so much, or easier. So I read on my iPad on the Kindle app. But like as I'm starting to go up, I'll hear myself start to like snore a little bit. I'm like, oh God. I jerk myself awake. Like I've been reading for 4.5 minutes. I really enjoy this book. I need to wake up.
That's funny. It's just so soothing.
Yeah, read. Yeah, and out like just because getting older just kills you, literally. It is so reading, and then I'm like I said, ears deep in Animal Crossing. Oh my God. Later on today, like after I get done here, I get to go island hopping and search for one of the green villagers. Fun. Which, if you don't know, is like the end all be all of excitingness for me.
My 21-year-old, she plays, and she brought it down because I don't have a Switch, and she brought it down and she's like, this, and she's showing me the inside of her house, but she goes, don't look at all those turnips. She's like, I'm hoarding turnips.
You have to.
I have no clue because I don't play, but it was just funny.
Yep. Don't mind all. I do the same thing. I'm like, they're all over my basement and my bedroom floor. Just don't mind those.
Don't mind them. They're just
I'm waiting for the Sal Jones market to open up.
Oh my gosh, that was funny. That was funny. All right. So, how would your friends describe you?
Oh, loud. Loud, funny. I think I'm pretty funny.
Yeah.
And also I've always been the enforcer. Not like with my friends, but like kind of like the bodyguard. Like when we're out, don't look sideways at my friend. Don't, especially if I've been drinking.
Don't side eye.
Like, yeah, no, don't do any of that. Like, especially if you are of the male persuasion, I'd be like, boy, you need something? Did you lose something over here, Honcho? Like and then one of my friends is like, no, it's, yeah. My friend is like, no, he's cute. It's fine. I'm like, he needs to stop being creepy then.
When you get stateside, no matter where you are, we got to hang out. That'd be fun.
Yes. And like, if I remember when we were younger and, everyone's out dancing and everything, we had signals for if the guy, grinding up behind you was nice or not. So like say in this scenario, someone's grinding up on you, Becca, and I'm facing you, you would give me a look and I would go, it's yes for good. I would, for some reason, this is the signal. And then,
nice.
But not doing this face. It's just,
yeah.
Or while we're rocking.
And then whether to go save each other.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm the enforcer, the weirdo.
Nice. Weirdo. It's pretty cool is what I think. So not
I am.
Yeah. So how do you prefer to stitch? In hand, Q-snap, lights, that kind of stuff. You got your
Q-snap all the way. Then I have this really cool, hold on, let's flop this over. Keep it. Yeah, lap stand. I tuck the bottom of the lap stand under my my fat flap, my belly flap, and then I just two-hand stitch. And I have my light here that I pull down. I've noticed that it's in the past like couple weeks, it's really hot. This bulb. I think I need to switch over to like. So do you have maybe, because I love how bright it is and that's great, but like I sit here and I sweat underneath it. So I wonder, is like an aunt light, do they emit heat?
Yeah, actually they do a little bit, because I have one of the gooseneck longer. I don't know what the wattage is, but yeah, it does give off a little bit of heat on it. But
I wonder if this one's just getting ready if the bulb's getting ready to go out too.
I was thinking it's not normally been hot. Yeah, it might be just a wattage or the bulb.
Yeah. I'm going to switch out the bulb and see if that helps, because I've been like, I hiss at it. I'm like, that's too much.
Well, if you're sweating, it makes it hard to stitch too, because then you can't sit there and hold the needle.
And I'm not premenopausal. I'm like pre-menopausal. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, this is too much. And I'm fanning myself. Then I get grumpy if I'm hot.
Yeah.
So we have to figure this out.
Yep. So, what is your favorite place that you've traveled to, and did you bring stitching with you when you went?
Well, traveling wise, this whole Japan craziness has been pretty nuts. I said, if you watched my first few episodes of my journey, I didn't pack all of my stitchy stuff to come with me, and that was my number one regret. Like, out of everything that went down, that was my number one regret. So I brought like 2 projects thinking, oh, that'll be good. I was wrong. It was super wrong. But it doing the international flights, traveling for 24 hours like the whole time, that was pretty nuts. I still found time to like sit and stitch though, because I was like, before I murder someone, I need to stitch. Yeah. But just like local travel prior to this, we went to, we lived kind of close to Washington, D.C. Okay. So I loved just hopping on the subway, the metro, and taking it into like the center of D.C. and just like stitching at the Washington Monument. I thought that was cool. Right? And of course, and I would be like stitching some like political statement on my so I'd piss off half of the people that walked by, and the other half would be like, yeah. Nice. So that was cool. And I've kind of continued that tradition here when we go somewhere, like if we go to visit some of the Tory shrines, or go to the beach or anything, I love bringing just a little bit of stitching with me. Just like, so I remember like, oh, when we went to Shipwreck Beach, I was stitching that, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. That's what I did. Like I've taken pieces to different areas, and you just, when you look at it, the memories come back. That's just things that are attached to your piece that you worked on. So yeah, very cool. So what can you not do without for stitching? Like your absolute, but besides the basics, the fabric and the floss and stuff like that.
Yeah, a Q-snap.
Me too.
A Q-snap, hands down. I hate hoops. I had to use one 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this is stupid, and it made me angry. I don't like, it's my hands, or I have like big bear claws, I guess, and so my hand would cramp up around the hoop, and so I was like, well, maybe I'll just try stitching in hand, and then my hand cramped up even more. Yep. I was like, F this. So my hoop, my Q-snap all the way.
Yeah, that's me too. My hand cramped up when I tried to do the hand stitching and the embroidery hoops. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And it's so pretty. Like, I feel like hand stitching, I feel like it adds like like your tension looks nicer in some way.
I think it lays differently or something when people do like the sewing method with hand stitching. I don't know. Our stabbing method is just as good.
Exactly. 5 feet away, perfect.
Yep. So how do you decide on what you're going to work on next for your projects?
Oh, really wherever the wind takes me. It is, if I try to set a plan, my Gemini nature like demands that I take a sharp left. So I just don't. I just can't. Even like with the wheels, it'll get the number one reason I love the wheel is it shows me what I don't want to work on. Like if it lands on something and I'm like,
I've learned that, because I tried to do the wheel for Mania for Patriotic, and I'm like, no, I don't want to work on that.
So I spin it again, and I spin it again, and I spin it again, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
That makes me feel better that, because I tried to be a planner and I tried to, I just go and grab stuff. So,
yep.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. So the final question is, what is the best thing that has happened to you so far this year?
This year, finding this community, hands down. Moving over here, moving away from everything that's familiar and away, obviously, from everyone I know, this has been my lifeline. This community, just finding my people has been one of the coolest things that I've ever imagined. Because I'm not an easy flavor to digest. I think is a good way to put it. Like, like some people love me, some people hate me. I don't feel like there's very many, middle ground on it. And I'm okay with that. Because I know that I'm a lot. So finding the people that not only tolerate me, but actually get my sense of humor, hands down, best thing.
Yeah, this community I've discovered since doing Flosstube is just absolutely amazing. Whether, you're having a bad day or anything, just comments or people reaching out to you. I love it. It's the best thing that I've ever done too, is just making the videos. So,
yep, agreed.
Definitely makes you feel less alone for sure. So
virtual high five on that one, man.
Yeah. Wait, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if we can. Wait, go like this.
We can't.
Here, do it this way.
Yeah. Oh,
there
this way?
Yeah, there we go. High five.
We're so white.
That's funny. Anyways, so that's funny. Wait. So that was all of the questions. It was so much fun. Lots of I needed these laughs. So this was a great interview. So good. I appreciate you taking time out of your day in the future, which is really so
here in the future we have hoverboards now. So
yeah, I know, right? That's pretty cool.
Get on my level.
Anyways, well, thank you so much, and we're gonna say bye to Flosstube. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview.
Bye, guys. Come at me.